Hello, AniCod here, and today we're going to be testing out some of the most common armour combinations to see just how effective they actually are and see how they look and see if there's any ways to counteract them. So let's get straight into it then. I hope you like the runway. We've got Ginge testing out all the outfits. Ginge, stop. We're not testing that one. Ginge, stop. We're not testing that. You've got your knob out, mate. Yeah, let's just go through the outfits that we said. Right, the first outfit is the full wooden armour. Really common in the first few days of wipe. We're going to test out the headpiece and the body and the leg coverings, and we're going to see how effective it actually is. Remember, each piece of armour does its own little piece of protection for that specific body part. Next one is not so common but still up there for the first few days of wipe is the full bone armour. Again, this comes in a headpiece with the body piece as well. So we're going to see if that one is better or worse than the full wood. Then we're going to get into the more higher tier sort of gear. So the hazmat, I dare say probably the most common for the simple reason it comes as all one piece. You can craft them now and it gives you all over body protection including radiation protection as well. After that we're going to pick apart the full roadside armour. The coffee can helmet seems to be the most common with people that wear this armour. So we're going to test it with the coffee can helmet. There's also some boots, trousers and a shirt as well that we're going to be testing out because people tend to wear them with that sort of armour. And then we get into the really high stuff, which is a high quality armour. So you've got the high quality headpiece, the body armour and the road sign kilt because that's the best armour you can get for your legs. And then finally, just for a mess around, we're going to be testing out the complete full RoboCop gear. So you've got a massive tin helmet, you've got a big dozy bodysuit, and then you've also got the leg coverings as well. This is Ginge moving at full speed, by the way. That's how slow this thing makes you. And it also makes you look through a letterbox as well. You can't aim your gun. It does give you tons of protection, but people tend not to use this, and you can see why. So, let the testing commence. Now when you hit tab, it will show you your body on the left hand side. If you hover over each body section, for example the legs or the torso or the head, 3 different sections, it will light up. Now on the right hand side of the body you will see some little areas that shows the types of protection certain armours give you. They are greyed out until you equip a certain type of armour and then they will light up with a percentage. So you've got your animal bites, your radiation, your cold, your explosions, your melee and your gun protection. And whenever you click on a certain piece of armour, it also tells you the percentages in the center console bit. Now the bone armour, for example, it's one full piece body kit and only the head is separate. The hazmat suit is complete one section, so it'll give you 30% projectile across the head, torso and legs. And then as you get to the better quality armour, like the roadside armour, you will be equipping different parts of clothing or armour based on which body part you want to protect. So it is a hell of a lot more customizable than just slapping a hazmat suit on. The gloves, contrary to popular belief, actually give you torso protection. When you hover over the legs, it does light the hands up as if it's part of the legs, but it's not, it's torso. One thing to remember about metal armour is it has a negative cold rating, so if you're living in the mountains somewhere in the snow biome, it is going to affect you a lot more than if you had the same armour on any normal part of the map. As I mentioned before, the heavy plate armour gives you tons of protection, really terrible against cold, and this is the letterbox I was telling you about, so you lose quite a lot of your peripheral vision. So we'll get straight into the testing. We'll test each bullet type, for example the normal rounds, the incendiaries, high velocity and explosives. All of them will be tested from close to medium sort of range, and I'll put up the damage ratings on each, and all of these tests will be with the AK. Now so the testing doesn't go on for 6 hours, I will be doing just centre of mass. So I'll be firing one shot at poor old little Ginge Tin Man at roughly a medium range. It'll be healing to 100% between each shot, and then I'll be putting the findings on the left, as you can see. I have sped it up, but in the meantime feel free to check out Ginge Tin Man. Link is in the description and it does help me out quite a lot in these videos. So the next armour we're going to test is wooden armour. As you can see, the incendiary does do quite a bit more damage. You do get burn damage as well as the actual bullet damage. In regards to the normal and the high velocity rounds, you'll see it consistently doing the same amount of damage throughout every armour type. Explosive does do a little bit more damage, but the only time I would fire explosive rounds at someone is if they're already in your gun and someone runs around the corner and you come face to face with him and you haven't got an option. Otherwise, I wouldn't bother using explosive rounds. They're very expensive, and unless you're on a modded server, they're just not worth the cost. So the next armour we've got is bone armour. Not as common as wooden armour. People tend to move from wood onto the slightly higher tiers, or if they get hold of a hazmat. But just for instance, the incendiary wins again. It's not very often people craft incendiary. People tend to find them. They might fire them if they've got no normal rounds left. They are quite expensive to craft. But if it is late game, you are getting raided, I would personally bang some incendiaries in your weapon. We've got roadside armour. This is quite popular. In my opinion, probably the best looking armour as well. And again, people tend to use this armour with a coffee can helmet. The coffee can helmets do give you a good bit of protection. They do look good, but with all metal armour, keep your eye on the cold rating, as I mentioned at the beginning of the video. The next armour is hazmat. Interesting thing about this is explosive and incendiary rounds do the same amount of damage. Normal and high velocity only does 5 damage less, so you're not really losing too much no matter what you fire here, apart from a bit of sulphur or some low grade depending what rounds you're using or crafting. As I mentioned before, the incendiary is just a normal round, but you get the fire damage on top of it as well. So now pretty much the end game tier high quality. Normal rounds only do 25 damage, which means you need 4 shots to down someone. The incendiaries do nearly 40, 39 damage on an incendiary round, which means depending if they get fire damage on top of the normal round, it'll only take 2 shots to put them down. Finally, we've got the heavy armour. It takes quite a lot to take someone down with this. Again, incendiaries do double the amount of damage than normal or high velocity rounds, almost twice as much as explosive as well. Best thing to remember about heavy armour is body shots do more damage than headshots. So if you have got someone coming towards you, aim for centre of mass and you'll down them quicker than going for a headshot. I'll put all the results side by side now so you can have a look, and on all of them it's always the incendiaries that come out on top. I'll leave them up for the time being so you can have a look at your favourite armour and see how it holds up against AK rounds. If you don't want to have a look at them, then I'll leave this little piece of footage running in the background where I blow Ginger off a big tower, so I've got something for everyone. Now if you've enjoyed the video, feel free to leave a like. If you hit the subscribe button and hit the bell notification, you'll be notified of when a new video releases, usually on a Monday. I am on the usual Twitter, Twitch, Facebook and Instagram. All the links are down in the description. If you've watched it this far, let me know you're a legend in the comments down below, and in the meantime I'm going to finish my tea and I'll see you in the next video.